everybody, it's Tracy from the Tea Plays Nice podcast forum on Ravelry. My name's Tracy again, and I can be found on social media either by Tea Plays Nice, I think on Twitter it's Tracy J Watkins. I'm not quite sure, so just to let you know that one. Thank you again to all returning or new viewers. I really appreciate you all being here. I've been watching lots of podcasts this last week. I've actually added new ones to my ever-growing list. I'm missing a few old friends at the moment. I understand they're all well, so can't wait to see what Tilly Trout's been up to over the summer. It's lovely to see Denise back. Pen, Hook and Needles, of course, I always watch. There I must do. But I've added a few more into my list. And I've also been catching up. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. A few of you have, because I've seen you around there. Is this new Periscope, which is an instant video where you can actually chat away in real time to one another. And the video only stays up for a day, I think, 24 hours. I have been watching some and I do find it quite interesting. I think I've only posted on a couple, but not brave enough to do it myself quite yet, because I think I would get distracted with everybody chatting, and sometimes you start to do, in a podcast you sit down and you've got everything planned out that you're going to say, or if you're not me, you've got everything planned out that you're going to say. And with the Periscope, people are chatting to you and it appears on your screen, and I would find that a little bit distracting, but I might give it a go. I'm not sure yet. Seems to be a lot of indie dyers on there at the moment, which is lovely to see. And it was quite weird the other day, for some unknown reason Davina McCall popped up with our trainer in a personal training video, which was quite random. But for those that don't know, Davina McCall is a presenter on our television channels. She does a lot of charity work as well, so that was nice. But anyway, it was lovely to get such beautiful responses from people last week over last week's podcast. We're settled. I would like to thank you all for people that sent messages. Talia sent me a lovely pattern. Talia from Francis and Gypsy Designs. She's super sweetie. She sent me the most beautiful pattern, and yeah, I had to go and buy yarn for it, but I'm still waiting for that to come. But as soon as it comes, Talia, I'm going to get that on the needles, and in honour, because it would be rude not to, quite frankly. You were so kind to send me the pattern, and it has to be knit now. And I've ordered the yarn, hopefully in a nice neutral grey blue colour for the first time I knit it, so I can wear all the lovely shawls and things that I hope to be planning to knit for myself over the next couple of months with some of the stash that I've got that I need to use. So, finished objects. Finished objects this week, I have 4. Can you tell I'm not working at the moment? I'm really hoping hubby will be fitting well for September, so I can get back to work. I knitted another bankhead hat for I'm not saying who, because they might inadvertently see this, but it's another bankhead hat. This one's come out quite big. I've got another one to knit because I just have for Christmas, and I think with this yarn in particular, I've got quite a lot of this yarn left, and it's I'll explain the yarn in a moment in Stash Enhancement. But it's quite a nice yarn, but it's come out a little bit big, so I think the next one I do, I'll just take off one of the repeats, 5 stitches. I'll do 5 stitches less, and I think that will sort out maybe the fact that this one was just a little bit too big. I'm not going to try it on because honestly I've got a small head anyway, and it comes down like this on me. So that's my first finished object. That's my bankhead hat. And to match that, I've done another handbrake cowl from Kane Dan of the Bakery Bears podcast. This has really inspired me with my Christmas knitting this year, because there's stocking fillers and things for the men. because I don't normally get a chance to knit men much unless it's jumpers, so I'm hoping to get a couple of those done this year for people. So that was my second finished object. My third finished object was those boring socks. Did manage to get a pair done. Okay, and hubby's tried them on and they're all okay. I suppose it's not that bad. If you look at it there, they're not that boring. But vanilla socks, and I did the heel flap and gusset, is it called? Where you just literally, you take so many stitches, knit the heel flap, then you turn the heel by picking up stitches. So I did that. So that's a pair of socks done for Christmas knitting. And so that was my third finished object this week. My fourth finished object, I have to confess, I really don't want to give this away to anybody for Christmas. It was my first beaded shawl. I've tried several times to start beaded shawls, and whether it's because I've been working, I haven't been concentrating, but this one I had the time to sit and really concentrate, and didn't need to once you really got into it. It was so simple. I never realised how simple putting beads on a project actually were. And I did the Haruni, the stockinette Haruni. Sorry, the designer's name. Is it? No, it's not impeccable. The lady's name escapes me. I'm really, really sorry, but it's quite a popular one on Ravelry. It's the Haruni, stockinette Haruni. And I did it on the yarn. Look at it. Can you see? If I bring it in, you can see what might be. And you can see the variation. And it's just short. I did block it quite well. It's just short of my wingspan. So you can actually see. And if you can wear it as your traditional shawl, which I think is lovely. But when I put it on the other day, just to show my husband, can you see? I don't know if you can. Look at this. I just think it's beautiful. But I kind of like know it's for somebody for Christmas. I'm going to sulk rather a lot about that. But I am so going to knit myself one when I've got the time. In lots of colours. I have actually got... No, that was fingering. I've got that lace. Debbie Bliss, I think it'd be too thin. But if I do it double, what do you guys think? Could somebody let me know if I double lace, does it give me a nice fingering so I can do one of those? Please let me know either in the comments below or on the Ravelry group, because I'm really not sure on that. So that was my fourth finished object this week. Let me just pop that back up there. Stash enhancement. Oh, if I go back to the bankhead, I went on to... Well, I didn't. I just typed in worsted yarn because I knew I needed some worsted yarn for the bankhead and the handbrake cowl. And I just went onto Google and I typed it in worsted yarn, and the company zoomed up for me, and I'd never heard of them before. Ice Yarns. And it's like a discontinued site. It's in Turkey. Now, I don't know if they've got a good reputation or a bad reputation. I really don't know. And I just thought, that looks too good to be true. It's Peru alpaca worsted on 5mm needles, and it's 25% alpaca, 50% merino wool, and 25% acrylic. I'll show it to you. It's quite a thick and thin type of... It's quite consistent, but there is little thin bits in it every now and again, and it's quite mild. It's got the greys and the silvers in it. And it is quite soft in the ball. It's a little bit itchier when you knit it, but with washing it goes back to the softness again. And I bought enough to do 2 bankhead hats and 2 handbrake cowls. So I bought 8 balls of this yarn. I put it in my shopping basket, and I thought that can't be right. And then I put it, time for delivery from Turkey to UK, $11.69. The wool, the yarn itself actually cost half that, I've got a feeling. $7 maybe, for 8 balls. And I thought, this is going to be too good to be true. It's going to come, it's going to be horrible, it's going to be rough. It's too cheap. Yes, it's like discontinued yarns and sellout yarns, so you take pot luck, but you can get so many yarns on there. I'm not saying it's going to be my... this is going to stop me buying from indie dyers or anything like that. It won't do that at all, because you just cannot get the beautiful colourways that you can get from the indie dyers with the gradients and the variegated and the self-striping and things like that. But for the what I would call the males in my family, they like solid with just a variation of colour. They like plain, they don't like anything too fancy. They're kind of like my husband and my son-in-law especially. Brand names. I'm not. But they do like their brand names. They like to go out with a advertising free for everybody to see what they've bought. I don't get that. But that was my ice yarn stash. I was very impressed, to say the least, on that. Then, as I was talking last week, I said I wanted to do the Hitafude. And I'd gone off and bought that nice yarn, or the cheaper yarn, for my mum. Well, unfortunately for mum, the Senses, the Stylecraft, I think it is Senses yarn, turned up in the post that I kind of like thought, oh, that might be quite nice. It's a reasonably priced yarn. And it is so soft. You can actually see the variation in the colours. It's a nice heather colour. I thought I'd ordered... On the website, I clicked on the grey picture, and when the order went through and it was kind of like heather, and I thought, well, it looks grey. So I'm wondering whether there was a problem with their linking on the website, because it has actually come through, and there was no way you could say this was grey on a screen. So yeah, so that came. And this is basically, I haven't got very much work in progress, guys, because I've kind of like finished everything. So I've cast on the Hitafude. And it's quite a simple pattern once you get into it. And yes, I've done my crochet cast on with the waste yarn. And I think I'm going to like it in this colour. But God, it's long. Careful, Tracy, you've kind of like left that mid-row with your garter stitches. So if I show you the other end, because you haven't got the yarn bar that's going on there. You've got this end, you've got 5 rows. It's not garter. It's knit 1 power 1. got 5 stitches, sorry, there, and then you go into the pattern. Now I presume this is the piece that's going to go across the back, and it's the arms. So once it's blocked, I know it's going to be fine. As you can see, it's going to be fine because I've got so much. And it's super, super silky soft, and I am enjoying it. But with any pattern, with any pattern, I tend to find they're not exactly user friendly for TV knitting. So I've got that on, and because I'm now knitting socks, I even been looking at everybody's beautiful, beautiful sock yarn blankets that they're doing. And I'm not, I don't know. I wanted a break from knitting. So I decided, none of the ends have been sewn in on any of this, so please forgive me. I decided to do some crochet squares. That's one. They're only 4-inch. No, I don't even think they're that, to be honest with you. Excuse me. They are 3-inch. 3-inch squares. So I've got that one. That one. And that one, which is very bright. And that one. I did 4. And I thought I do like, that hasn't got me here. Really hasn't got me here. So I think I might have to do a little search on the interweb to see if there's anything that catches my eye. Because I thought about joining these, and I thought, oh, I'll do a white border, very much like somebody I was watching the other day. Was it Knit One Power One podcast? Don't think it was. Anyway, not quite sure. Somebody had done a cream border, and I thought I kind of like that. But then I kind of think, oh, I'm not sure. I like the look, the way the mitered ones are just joined together. But I'd get bored doing the mitre. So I'm not sure whether I will jump on that particular bandwagon or no, just yet. Jury's still out. So that was that. And I did start the Jaywalker socks for my daughter. And I got halfway up the leg. And I loved the way the yarn was doing that. But when I looked at where the Knit 2 Purl 2 went into the pattern, maybe I did the first row of the pattern a little bit too tight and it puckered slightly, and I knit half the leg and I thought, oh, that'll sort itself out. Knit half the leg and it hadn't sorted itself out, and I really wasn't happy, so I ripped it all out. 2 evenings worth of work just ripped out. I kind of thought, no, not happy, so ripped out. So I'm hoping to get that back on the needles. So at the moment, all I've got on my needles, in actual fact, is my hit a flu day. So, which is unusual for me, because anything in hibernation doesn't count. Because hibernation to a lot of knitters means they're working on something and they will put it in hibernation and they will pull it back out and work on it again very shortly. Hibernation for this girl kind of means, oh, I'll put that in that bag and I'll forget it ever existed, and I'll just deny all knowledge. Just deny all knowledge of it ever existed anyway. So I know it's bad, but I just can't help it. That's the way I am. So what else have I been up to? That's basically it. I am waiting on the yarn to show you for my pattern that Talia sent me, and I'll talk about that next week when I'm a little bit more organised. This is a really random quick podcast to say this is what I've done this week, because I've got so much more free time on my hands. I've quite liked being domestic goddess this week, looking after hubby, cooking all the meals, walking the dog, doing the laundry, doing the ironing. To be honest, normally I'm at work when that type of stuff is going on. Dale does it in his own time when he can, and I just finish off bits and bobs when I'm home. But this week he's not, obviously, he's not allowed to, so I've been doing that. And it's been a change, and it's been a very welcome change. So, what else? I did do some paper craft this week. If those that don't want to listen to this, you really don't have to. But if you're a crafter and you start watching knitting podcasts and you start watching whatever podcast, you end up clicking on other little links when you're watching to see what other people are up to. And a lot of people, and I kind of like stalk, is that the right word? Denise, sorry. I stalk Denise from the Knitting Den quite a bit, because I just kind of like feel that we've got the same interest in life a lot. She's into her, at the moment she's into her diet and fitness, she likes her knitting, she does a little bit of planning and things like that, and I am signing up, taking the pledge to be fitter and healthier. I'm kind of like getting stuff out the cupboards as we speak. I am still trying to be very, very good and bringing healthier up. We had healthy options anyway. We've always drunk skimmed milk. I don't personally take milk into your coffee anyway. I drink more black chai tea than I do coffee now. We've always had low fat spreads, but after speaking to several doctors, they're not the way to go. Butter is the way to go. They're better for you, but tiny amounts. So we're slowly getting into the whole don't eat much processed food at all. We kind of like, I could live on chicken, to be honest, chicken breast and vegetables. But I do like my carbohydrates. So anyway, I digress. So Denise, if you feel like I'm stalking you, sorry, but I am. In the nicest way, not a scary stalker way, in the nice way. And I've also done a bit of planning. I want to get it planned. I want a book in place and home where I can write down my feelings, my thoughts. And I just took a plain A4 book, blank sheets inside, and I thought this was lying around at home. Now when I do my next one, because there will be a next one, because at some point I'll think I'm fed up with this one and I need to do something that's a better size maybe, but I thought this will give me a starting point to get me used to doing the planning and get me used to putting it all into place. So I'm only showing you the back at the moment because I have decorated up the front. I've got my little keys dangling. I've actually put one in place so it kind of like holds those other two where I want them to be held. And I've put a little pocket on there, and that actually says, remember this, follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. Nobody else's bliss. Follow your bliss. Because I'm very much a yes person, a people person. I will do everything to please everybody else. And then I will think, well, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something else. And I've stopped. Stopped doing it. I was going out with a couple of friends and we were doing whatever they wanted to every time, and I would fit in, and as soon as my shifts changed at work and I didn't fit into their schedule quite so much, we kind of like, we're still friends but we haven't got the contact we used to have, and I've decided I'm actually going to start following my bliss a bit. And if people want to join me on my bliss, I'm quite happy for that, and I'm quite happy to join them on a little bit of their bliss, but we have to find a happy medium. So I've actually done, sorry, I've got a little heart there. It seems to be turning itself upside down. So that's a little pocket if I want to slot anything in there quickly. This is actually a fake lock. It doesn't go around, but I've actually put a fake lock. So I just decorated that up with some papers that I had. And inside, I've actually done a little memo board. Yes, you can actually fit these pieces in. They will move. That's going to fall out now. but they will stay in there. I've put the calendar from an old calendar that I had for this year along the bottom, and along here I've got a little bit that I'm going to start putting my paper clips and any other little bits that I want to store on there. And then inside I've done my August planner. So you can see I've got a place for birthdays and anniversaries to write, and other notes down there and down there. And then I've just got a couple of little things dotted around there. So that's as far as I've got with that. I've got a couple of menu planners that I've designed on a little program that I've got on my computer that I need to print off, and then I can do a little bit more. But that's going to be my planner. So try and keep me accountable for that, guys. Keep asking me how's it going, because I'll forget. And in there I hope to eventually start pointing again on my diet, my Weight Watchers diet that I did. Hope to start pointing again on that, and hopefully recording some fitness and other goals and what needs to be done, what I've worked on knit wise and things like that. So that's all that for this week. I think that's everything that I've got to talk about. I hope you're all well. Yeah, I've got nothing else to show, nothing else to talk about. So I hope you have a lovely weekend. It is Saturday 25th, maybe 21st. I don't know what episode this number is because I'm doing this ad hoc at the moment, as and when. And I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and I hope to speak to you soon.